I'm back. I've got a piece of freezer wrap right here. And on freezer wrap, one side is shiny, kind of waxy, and the other side is just like plain paper. So I put this shiny side up, and then it always wants to roll up. So what I'm going to do is just fold along the edge a little bit, and it'll take that curl right out. And then my paper will lay flat, which will also, if I'm going to have a lot of runoff, this folded edge will help stop it from running off the paper. There we go. Sits flat. Nice. Now, you know I'm all about upcycling, recycling, repurposing, or whatever you call it. So what I do when I paint, I don't set my board. Oh, a lot of you know I paint on wood, but I do not set my board right down on the paper because, you know, you can't get a hold of it good to, you know, tilt and tip or move it or manipulate it. So I recycle these rings, put them on there, put my board on there, and then that way I can just get under there and move my painting very easily. So I am going to put my paints in a cup, or get them ready, and I'll talk about how much paint is really needed on your surface. I've sanded my board, and I've kind of took the sharp edges off and I've got a 4-ounce cup. I think it's from the restaurant. Now, cells are not normally desired in a ring pour, but I'm going to put them in anyways. Sometimes what I do is just oil my cup. When you oil your cup like this with silicone or dimethicone, the paint comes out real easy. So now what this is here, I'll show you. I'm using coconut milk hair serum. It's got dimethicone in it. Just wet the surface of this board. I'm going to be using black. You can prime these if you want to. Some people do, some people don't. I'm not selling any of these paint pours, so I'm not going to be that picky about it. And most likely, I'm going to pour over this in the future anyways. I reuse them. If I don't like the painting, I just let it dry and pour over the top of it. You know, if I'm not out to sell it, I'm just out to play with paint and color and have fun with it. Doesn't matter. I don't have to be so professional quality. You can paint on anything, tiles, glass. There's really a lot of options. I've been pouring on old vinyl records. What else have I painted on? I used to do paintings on the old saw blades. Those are fun, but that's more professional quality paints and artistry work. I've done a few of them. All right. Alrighty. Just even this up a little bit. I know it's all going to run off anyways. Alrighty. Here we go. Show you how I'm going to do this. Now this paint's going to fly all over the place because my cup is full. So, squeezed out. I'm just going to go around the edge to create better flowage when it's wet. All right. Let's see how that works. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes for the paint to settle down. Wasn't this supposed to be a ring pour instead of a flip cup? And that's what stress does to you. Well, we'll work with it. Alrighty, I'm going to... Now this has created a suction. It's like a vacuum in there. So I'm going to just squeeze it a little bit. A lot of people poke a hole in the bottom of the cup to release the vacuum. It's not stuck that hard. So I'm just going to lift the cup. And what I like to do is kind of sometimes turn it, push it around, release a little bit more. I think we could go over here. Let's see. Twist it a little. Release a little bit more. Ooh, she's getting full. Alright. A lot of good cells coming in over here. I like that. And just watching the paint flow and do its own thing. And just enjoying what it does. Oh, look at the cells coming in. Look at that. That's what I mean. Watching it do its own thing. That's awesome. This spot right here is really cool. Looks like a big mushroom. Now we can kind of tilt it. Fill up the corners if you want to. I would like to leave some negative space in the corners, but this time it's impossible to do because I've got so much paint on here. It would be so thick. So I'm just going to very slowly tilt my board and let the paint flow and do its own thing. That's the therapy part of this. Watching the paint run is supposed to be very relaxing, you know, because of the colors and what the paint does, what it decides to do, the cells that pop up, how the colors mesh and blend together. It's good for relieving stress, really is. A lot of people might not think so. A lot of people think it's crazy. Oh, that won't work. But it depends on you. Do you want it to work? Do you want to use this in a way to work? You know, it could be a placebo effect. I like it. The colors are calming. They're soothing. It's relaxing. I'm thinking about my painting instead of what's stressing me. I think it's really effective. You know, this painting is really busy. I see a lot of things in there. When I watched a live painting pour on YouTube, the audience was sitting there playing a game. What all can you see in there? And it was kind of interesting to see what the audience came up with. All the interesting little things that they could see in there. That was pretty good. I really like the videos of paint pouring where they add music that's calming. There's this one paint pour guy who uses blues music, and it is so cool. Because music affects our moods too, you know, it all helps. It's all very effective. All my cells are kind of gone, but I have a different kind of cells that are popping up. I have some little cells in here, and through here, right there, and in this part here, over here, there's some, and then over here. And then, you know, various places, it seems that new cells are popping. So this is kind of neat. I'm just going to go down and get that far corner. You know, there's a lot going on in social media. And it's stressing. It's very stressing. And I think that part of the problem might be us, ourselves. Because we're feeling the need to give output all the time. And when you're hung up in those kinds of situations where things aren't going good in your circle of friends and you feel the need to put output, and that's, you know, that's what social media has done. That's the way it's programmed us. We feel the need to put output. And sometimes we think we're doing or saying the right thing. Hasn't been thought about. Maybe it's a little bit on impulse. And we just wind up pissing somebody off even more. Somebody gets offended. And you have to realize you cannot please all of the people all of the time. You just can't. It's possible. I'm going to bring this up a little closer to the camera so you can see what's going on.